Lemongrass is an excellent pest repellent plant that is easy to grow and also provides its unique flavor. Growing lemongrass at home can go very easy with a few simple things, so keep watching because in this guide we will cover some of the basics of lemongrass care and maintenance, and do subscribe to our channel. Lemongrass is a native plant of Southeast Asia. It's a grass type plant but have a sweet lemon-like smell and flavor, and therefore it's used in cooking, herbal teas and medicines. It's a permanent outdoor summer season plant that can also survive very well in indoors. It can grow such long and wide. In containers it grow in limits, but still you can grow this choosing a good size pot. Lemongrass have a unique aroma that insects and pests doesn't like much, so it works as a pest repellent as well. You can propagate lemongrass plant very easily. They have such type of stems growing from the same trunk part. You can simply twist them off and plant them in a loose and well draining soil mix. At the first place it in a shade, but then you can move it to a sunny spot. You can also use their seeds to propagate them, but they are very small in size and requires a lot of experience to germinate. I tried several times but failed. But don't worry, you can also buy their mature plants from your local nursery and enjoy their flavor. They are mostly available in their growing season. Now let's talk about some basics of lemongrass care. The first and the most important thing is understanding their season. So lemongrass plant likes a slightly warm temperature range. You can grow their plants in the starting springs up to late summer days. They grow a lot in summer days, but in winters as the temperature drops up to 15 degrees Celsius, they start to slow down their growth and become a little dormant. In the burning days of summers, lemongrass plant can also stop its growth for a while due to high temperature, but that's a normal thing. If you live in a colder region, consider growing them indoors or in partial shade, but in a temperate region, lemongrass plant grow really well. Another thing in lemongrass plant care is their container size. Lemongrass propagate by these stalks, and when it's like this, the whole container is full of lemongrass plants, the roots get bounded and result size type of drying leaves. On the other hand, look at this image. These plants are way bigger than small container plants. So lemongrass plant grow very well in ground, but you can also grow them in planters. Just make sure the container is at least 5 to 8 inches deep and as wide as possible because they love to spread. You can check out some of the pots from the video description to buy. Another important thing for growing lemongrass plant healthily is its soil mix. Soil plays a big role in the growth of lemongrass, so make sure the soil you are using is a bit of loose and well draining. The moisture should never stay long in the soil as this can cause rotting of their bulbs. Lemongrass plant loves an acidic mixture, so it will be very useful if you can add some compost in your soil mix. You can also watch a detailed video on making a good soil mix at home using simple but useful ingredients. It's added in the video description. And when it comes to water the plants, it's better to first let the top layer of soil dry a little and then add frequent amount of water. For growing lemongrass disease free, the location of your plants matter the most. Lemongrass likes to have a sunny spot with plenty of direct sunlight, but in hot summers you should move them in a semi-shaded area for a while. Otherwise the leaves get pale and can also dry out from their tips like this. Beside hot summers, a healing sun of even 6 to 8 hours is good for lemongrass as well. Just don't let the plant in extremely low light area. Another big thing for growing lemongrass plants is its fertilization. Lemongrass plants are a moderate type of feeders that likes normal fertilization, not too less and not too much. But it's better to give them a good fertilizer at least regularly. You can use a part of cow dung with a part of compost to fertilize lemongrass. That's all they like, but remember to fertilize regularly. For applying this fertilizer, lose the top layer of soil and let it dry. Add a dose of this homemade fertilizer. For a small pot like this, use only 3 to 4 tablespoons, but for a bigger pot, you can increase the dose. Mix well and water properly. This way use it every 2 weeks within the season. Lemongrass as generally is a hardy plant that needs very less care, but if you mistakenly overwater it, it can show you rotting bottoms with yellowish leaves and stunted growth. Just use a well-draining soil mix and don't water too much. Another problem happens when lemongrass is not receiving enough sun. Their stalks can go laggy and stunted. So that's all about lemongrass care for growing them healthily. If you like to ask me any questions, WhatsApp link is added in the description box, and here is the video on lantana plant care that you can watch if you like to.